You've mentioned the possibility of getting another Cap movie down the line. Who's a villain from the comics we haven't seen yet that you'd love to square up against?
That's hard. I don't know. Who would you say? Who would you say?
For me, Scourge. I want
really?
Scourge so bad. I think he's such an interesting, like a killer of supervillains.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's awesome. Constrictor's another guy that I like, especially
cool.
since you guys now have like introduced adamantium.
Right.
I think Constrictor would be a lot of fun.
I would really like to get some of those X-Men like villains. Like I want the whole Juggernaut crew.
Yes,
like, I was just
yeah.
like some of those. I feel like those would be a lot of fun.
Am I picking on this guy, aka Patters, from that clip? I'm sure you can predict some of the things I'm about to say. I just want to say, there is no way I'm picking on Anthony Mackie or crapping on Captain America Brave New World. It comes out this Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. I was just texting one of my friends. We're doing like a whole afternoon, like a whole night of just, balling out, like having a good time, seeing the movie, going out afterwards, getting some good food, all of that stuff. Anthony Mackie's clips keep popping up in my feed. Previously, it was Midtown Comics, where, so artfully, Levi, I know you're out there. He doesn't even know how to hold a comic book. And previously, he doesn't even know how to speak of the America part of Captain America. He doesn't even. So here, he just reveals himself. And he reveals two things. Well, three. Number one, he really doesn't know anything about comics. So get out. We need people to do a job on screen. You don't have to be a comic book expert. You don't. I don't know why this is. We always see this. We see this time and time again. Number two, where's Disney in all of this? Disney's not coaching this guy. How are we not sitting him down? Even for a Zoom meeting, even for a Teams meeting. How are we not sitting down our star for our new, I say, it's really Brave New World. It's new major franchise. You're locked into 2 more Avengers movies. Everyone's waiting to see what happens with this movie so they can announce the next Captain America Falcon movie or Falcon Cap movie. Where is Disney on coaching him? How come he doesn't know a smidgen history of the character or book? Not saying he needs to be an expert, but you can sit yourself down and watch a couple videos on YouTube. I think his response to this, I think everything we've been seeing of this like little bit of a promo tour is Disney's fault. Disney is just not coaching. And I don't know if if that's like a third party thing. Who's ever in charge of it, you gotta go. And number 3, here we go. This is the real point. He cannot name any Captain America villains because there are no more Captain America villains left worthy of appearing on screen. We can kind of, like, again, it's a drill down nitpick. When I was watching this, for me, and that's because I've been reading a little bit from that era, Viper comes to mind, maybe, but Hydra 2 is also, disassembled in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Captain America is out of villains. This is why you don't kill your villains sometimes. You cannot make anything into a villain. A hero that sticks. We're talking about a hero that resonates. Just like a character. It's freaking rare. It's like one of the most rarest things. And the villain that resonates is even more rare. It's so rare, in fact, Marvel, during their, all go no quit era, they did one new villain a month for all of their major titles. Now, given, things like the Galactus trilogy, but mostly through the 60s, through the 70s, even marching into the 80s. And how many of those villains actually stuck? How many of those villains resonated? To further that, he exposes the modern practice of comic book storytelling, where, hey, let's go all in on Falcon Cap. Like, let's Captain America 25, right? Like volume 4, volume 5. No, maybe it was like volume 6. But anyway, like 25, like, right, it's Captain America basically like gets assassinated. Falcon Cap comes in. Falcon Cap gets his own series. When he gets his own series, they're doing trade paperback overarching driven storylines. They're doing 6 to 7, like more like 4 to 6 issues, 6 to 8 issues. But they're doing these clumped together storylines to be read cohesively as a single deliverable piece. You guys see where I'm going? The days of discovering what works for some of our heroes are over. You'd think Marvel would say, we need a counter to this. We don't need a great storyline for Falcon Cap. We don't. We just need something that's episodic, and we need to wow our readers. We have to introduce something new, a new danger, something big every single issue until we get that Venom, until we get that Constrictor. No, not really. This I thought this was bizarre that he relatively proves the point that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has a absolute villain problem. He could have just said, bring back Red Skull. I mean, he could have said, like, like, it would have been cooler if he teased the return of a character, or like thought, and I get it, he's got to think quick on his feet. This is probably, like a whole day's worth of interviews. Like, he's getting questions like this all the time. I just think it's hilarious that it's not positioned as a gotcha question, but it totally got him and exposed him. Technically, Red Skull isn't dead. Red Skull is still out there. Red Skull could come back in a very believable way. And Red Skull is the ultimate counterpart to Captain America. Captain America, not to Steve Rogers, right? But we would be able to go with that. I think even a return of the Red Skull would hype people up for the next Captain America movie. And like, how ironic and kind of little like symmetry there would it be that Captain America Brave New World had a Red Hulk, and then the next one has Red Skull. I think that's very comic book. I think that's very cool. Guys, I know it's even to, like, they talk Scourge. If you talk Scourge, like, do you go with Baron Blood? But it's Scourge is he's not a character. He's I get it. Like, they kind of did multiple versions of him in the comics. To me, nothing has worked. It's like that first version where he just murders like everyone. I remember just being fascinated with that in Marvel's the books of the dead. If you guys remember those from the Marvel Handbook, I don't know, guys. I think this is it's just there. Like, it's a perfect illustration of you cannot kill your villain. Villains are so rare. Good villains are more valuable than good heroes.